I did not want to disappoint you, Doug. I held it. I made all the sprints linked one to the other. I'm learning from my friend here. Hello,
I color
everybody.
me impressed. Hello, everyone. Who do we have hanging out in the chat with us today? It was a bump in chat I saw.
It was. I love it.
So NJ's here. Hello, hello. Matulver's here. Awesome. Ashley's here. B's here. Elena, hello. Excellent.
By the way, B, I sent you a message in the community. Write me back. It was a question. It's a question about Friday's query class. So
Iva's here. Rosalinda is here as well. I think I'm scrolling down. I think I got
Ashley,
everyone.
did you
Hello.
say?
Yep.
Let's
I
see.
said
Okay.
Ashley, my fellow horror story lover.
Oh,
Can't forget Ashley.
let me just tell you, MG
Emily's
horror is so disappointing, Doug. There's
okay. The MG
no
horror that
goodness.
you just read last night was disappointing. You can't just
Yeah.
take a small sample size in the same. So for
No,
reference, Abby
it's
read.
true.
You share what happened last night, Abby, to the fine folks here.
I bought a book on Amazon that was an MG horror short story collection from 2023. It's British, so I figured that out because I can tell from the slang and from the words they're using it's British, which normally I would be so into it, but I was so disappointed. I was like so disappointed. It's so hard not to just like turn this into let's talk about MG horror because
we can have another show for that.
I know I gotta go find some more references now so I can see like what's real because
hello to Blair and Ashley. I have not seen The Substance. It's on my list. I just watched Cuckoo, which was surprisingly good. Very unique, very artsy, very cool monster. So I like it.
Yeah, look at this. I hate it when you start something and you're so excited and then you're like, oh, yep, sucks when a book doesn't hit right. God.
Yeah.
And it's just not doing it for you. It just feels like
it's like, speaking of horror, though I don't want to turn this into a horror show either. There's this book called Horror Movie, I think is what they called it, and people were raving about the audiobook version, which is primarily how I ingest my books these days because do it on my walks, right? I found it abysmal to listen to. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's written in a way that jumps back and forth between a screenplay and like a script reading and some other stuff going on. So it's very like multimedia, I guess, in that way. But I was so disappointed. So I feel your pain. I don't like horror. I'm writing
it for you, Doug. I am. Let's see. How long do we have? Okay, I have just enough time to tell you a quick story. So it used to be when I would drive from my town out to like the next rural town over, I would pass these 3 big homemade like billboards at the side of the road that said, vote for Doug. Now, I don't know who Doug is. I don't know what Doug was running for, but vote for Doug was up for the longest time. Well, then like vote fell over and it just said for Doug. And so every time I'd pass by, I'd be like, for Doug. And then the 4 fell over and just Doug was there. And I wanted to just steal the sign from the side of the road and put it in my yard. And the legal department, my best friend, who's an attorney, told me not to. But I did snatch a dumped rooster off the side of the road and I named him Doug because it was right near where the signs were. And Doug was in my yard for forever and he tormented everyone who walked by my house with their dogs. So anyway, those are my fun Doug stories. All right, everybody. On that note, we will see you in 20
Success.
All right, what'd you get?
1,028.
Stop it.
I can't stop it. How'd you do?
350
That's still
ish,
excellent.
whatever. I don't care
No,
because
it's not
I will
whatever.
keep them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
I've never written a book so quickly, I will
mhm.
admit. But I've also never written a book without like sitting down and actually getting out the 350 words or the 100 word sessions or the 500 or 700. Like, it's all necessary, right? It's all a win.
Yeah. Mm.
Maybe if you weren't
Sorry,
so
you're not
sleepy.
boring me. Actually, my husband walked in the middle of it. I thought he was at the eye doctor, and I could hear somebody in the background, and I totally transported myself into my own personal horror story as I was like, "Holy cow, who's in the house?" And then I hear the door open behind me, and I turn around and look, and he's got these big sunglasses on, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" We go back, I think, in the footage, you guys will see me jump out of my skin. So, Hank's lurking here, it looks like.
hmm
It lurks
um,
quietly from backstage.
so Jane joined us. Good morning, Jane. B got 423. There's a storm going on. Yeah, we got a lot of rain coming down where I am right now. Ashley got 745. Emily got 240, bumbling along, but progress is progress. 429 for Metalver, 340 for Elena, 532 for Iva, 263 for Blair with a very fun emoji. Ashley gets scared all the time by her roommate. um, Excellent. Metalver saw the jump. With Hank lurking in the background, Abby, do you want to talk about what's starting tomorrow?
Yeah, so we are actually before we start talking
Yes.
tomorrow, let me move my words. Do you need to move your
Yes.
words?
No,
Everybody
I'll
move your words.
move your words either to where they're
Okay.
going to live forever or to the next session. If you put them in before the timer starts, then it doesn't count for your word count for the sprint. And do
Yeah,
we
I
have
want
the
to
link for the second sprint in the
Yeah,
chat?
let me do that now right here. Invite others, copy link. All right, here we go. So tomorrow we are starting short stories with Hank. He's leading
Mhm.
us through the process through the month of March. So every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, Hank is doing a short story workshop. And this week it's kind of about planning, figuring out your arc, your character, getting those details done. I'm totally jump starting it because I am working on my story right now. So I
Okay.
sort of pre-gamed a little of it because I'm not going to lie. I was nervous. I've never written a short story before. And so I thought I don't necessarily want to fail publicly in front of all of you. So I made sure my ducks were in a row. But if you guys want to write along with us, we would love that. One of the things that Hank talks about is like, why would you want to stop what you're doing and write a short story? And there's lots of really good reasons, but I am personally using it to try out a genre that I've never done before. And I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl instead of just sitting back and always being like, oh, Doug horror. Rah. I'm gonna give it a shot. So
I
yeah.
relate to NJ here because one of the things I'm looking forward to, but also dreading, is compacting a whole story into such a short
Mm.
frame. Like, uh, I write big books. I
And I
can't.
cannot lie.
I almost went there. I'm like, why did I say it with that cadence?
I liked
But
it.
I like it's going to be stressful. Hank said, come up with three character ideas, and my first thought was only three. I can only have three characters in this. So,
Oh my goodness.
all right, we got 20 seconds here. So yeah, that's at 2 p.m. tomorrow here on the channel. During our next break, we'll get the link for that so you can hit that notification bell. But really, your notification should be on for the whole channel so that you don't miss anything.
All
All
right,
right,
everybody. We'll see you in 20.
see you in 20. Number 2
Okay.
done.
All
Just back here
right.
bopping to my lo-fi as we're writing.
What'd you get this time?
10
2047.
1065. Not to if I break the 2000 mark, that would be, I think, inhuman. I don't think that would be possible. So
Okay, I've got to figure that out. Like, what does that mean? All right, so you have like I'm gonna math the math on my calculator while you check in with
while
everybody.
I do
Okay.
the work and
Mm-hmm.
host.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got to
All
break
right.
down how many words you get a second. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. B got 466. Ashley got 606. Metalver got 343. But I'm hitting the part where I know it's not working and I got to figure out why. And I think that's what's benefiting me right now is that I have all this stuff planned out and I'm confident in this first like half of the book. But there's going to come a time where we get to the point where decisions will have been made that
Mm-hmm.
didn't align with my outline and like
Mm-hmm.
new things are going to have to happen, or I'm going to have this brilliant brain blast and I'm going to drop to like 400 words per 20 minutes, right?
Okay, so like just basic math. 60 seconds in a minute times 20 minutes, 1200 seconds, but you're writing a little over 1,000 words. That's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you're a fast typer, but you must also really know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do, and that's the boon that I'm working with. So hang tight until we get to that point where I don't know what I want to say next.
Okay.
And even now I'm typing up this admittedly spooky scene and I put in these kind of monstrous things or these creepy shadowy things and I don't even know if I'm going to want to keep them. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that sprinting first draft mode where it's like I'm not questioning this, I'm just kind of letting it go. So
Just let
we'll
it rip.
see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Elena got 386. Lee got 179. I have a 547. Emily, the perfectionism seems to be getting in the way. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
want some
feel
of that
that.
chocolate if you find it, NJ. Get you some.
I have no chocolate in my house and it's really bumming me out. And grocery shopping was yesterday. We intentionally didn't get chocolate and I'm regretting that decision quite a bit. So
I frequently will not buy junk because my family will complain when they eat junk. So I just
mhm,
don't buy it. And
mhm.
then everyone feels like we're being punished
Yeah,
somehow. And so,
yeah.
yeah,
It's a miserable feeling not having
it
junk
is.
food.
It's so good for you. So I'm proud
Yeah,
of you, Doug. No chocolate
yeah.
in your house, man.
I'm just, drowning myself in caffeine instead. So,
I did stop and buy donuts today on my
ooh,
way home. Yeah, I was
nice.
bad. And then I ate 3 of the 6 that I bought. So
One of the things that I've been doing in this draft, so in my original series of books and for the rest of the series, I've been writing in US English because the majority of my readers are American.
mhm,
But I've often thought, especially when I started writing, like, do I want to do that? What's the trade-off? Because Canadian English is not the same as US English. It's also not the same as British English,
mhm.
right? So it's kind of somewhere in between. So for this book, I'm writing in Canadian English, which is
That's
like
why you're so fast.
that's why I'm so fast. I don't have to stop and think about whether there's a
You
U
don't
in it
have
or
to
not. Just
translate it
yeah, yeah.
to
so so yeah, so it's been interesting and I kind of want to see how readers react to it
Mhm.
once that happens, like once it goes out, which won't be till hopefully the tail end of this year is the
Yeah, but
goal.
I mean, like,
But
that's just like the occasional extra E or the extra U, right? Isn't that like
yeah,
Canadian?
compare to the US, yeah. Yeah, it usually is
Yeah.
just that extra thing, but people like I have, American friends that will notice that thing and they'll comment on it every now and then. I'm like, "Okay, people are going to notice this when they're reading." But you also don't notice some things when you're reading. But like
I
when I'm
think it's
reading,
cool.
right? When I'm reading
Yeah.
British English, I don't like I'll note that tire is spelled with a Y instead of an
Or
I.
it's mum,
Yeah,
MUM instead
mum,
of mom.
which, like, I just say that because, I don't know, I just started one day, and so that's what I say to my mom. Um, so, but or, like, how the first floor in the UK is not ground level, right? Whereas we would say the first floor is ground level. So, anyway, there's
Pause
little
that
little things
because
here
I
and
want to
there,
know what
yeah.
that is. Okay.
See you in 20 minutes, everyone. You're
Okie
muted. There we
doke.
go.
I know. I'm not fast enough for you guys. All right. Final count, man. What'd you do?
Final count 3149.
Ooh,
I
all
think that's the record for me.
three.
Yeah, that's good.
My total count was 1388, which
That's very
I'm
good.
cool with. I don't.
Yeah.
I think as you guys get faster, I am just stubborn enough that I'm like, no, I'm gonna write super slow now.
Yeah, just to prove a point.
Mm,
Though if you got 13 something and your first one was like 345, I think that means you got faster as the sprints went on.
No, I got slower. I only got
Did you?
288 this last time. Yeah.
Oh, what'd you get in the middle one?
My first one I think was the most.
Okay,
And
well, I
then
take that back. So you're just trying to prove a point now.
totally. Totally.
Uh,
Ashley B both beat me. And Tulver, you're about where I am. So I'm
excellent. And Metalver made your daily goal. That's awesome. And that's what's important, because like you can write a ton of words in one day. Like you can take a Sunday and write like 5,000 words in one day. But if you only do that every 2 weeks, you're not going to get your book written for over a year, right? And that's just the first draft. So if you put in that regular, consistent progress, that's how big projects get done.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I've had huge stretches of time though where I write 400, 500 words a day. That's it. But I write 400, 500 words every single day,
Yes.
day after day after day after day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I get there. I still get there. And for the most part, I like most of the words when I do that. I mean, I tend to like to write a little slower anyway. So I enjoy the process. I'm a slow writer. I am also a very slow reader because it's fun. Why do I want to like?
I think you're also maybe a little tired because you just agreed with what I said, but in a longer way. We're saying the same thing here, Abby.
Yeah. Well, but you said only writing once a week, but I'm like, yeah.
No, if you only write once a week, then it's going to take you a long time. But regular, small, consistent progress is the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what small is to you.
I'm not going to divide 500 by or 5,000 by 500 and do the math. I'm not good at the math. Anyway.
B devours words for a dragon. NJ asked, NJ said, I got 31 pages of editing. So progress. That's fantastic progress. That's excellent.
That's super awesome. She is also, I think, going to do a writing group at a school.
Excellent. Oh, that's awesome.
What we're talking about. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I never know if people with similar names here and in the community are the same people. So
oh, I don't know either. I know B is.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I recognize some names for sure. NJ, let us know if you are, because I know there's an active NJ in the Storycraft Cafe. So I don't know.
Yeah. Suddenly I'm like, yeah. Are we all one and the same?
Excellent. Everyone seems to be successful this time around. Yeah, tomorrow, writing sprints, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Perfect. NJ did join. Awesome. Jane is not the Jane Waterman on the cafe.
Wait, what?
Just because make things too simple for us sometimes. Tomorrow, writing sprints, 12:30. And then 2 o'clock tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we start Hank's short story challenge workshops, whatever you want to call it. It's a month of short story stuff every Wednesday, 2 p.m. We're going to write some short stories. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to learn a lot and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same. All right. Well, we will see everybody tomorrow. Copy and paste your words. Copy and paste your words.